So ever since pretty much ever since that long we took, price action has kind of gone back to being pretty weak. We traded back up to the top of that 15-minute bearish breaker. And then came back down, and it's just been kind of choppy ever since. So yeah, right now I'm coming into this session with just kind of an expectation that we might not see the best. That we might not see the best price action. We might not see the best price action for the rest of the day. We can look at the 1 minute time frame and see. All you have to do is really look at the 1 minute time frame and see how bad that price action looks, how choppy it is. Not really any clear entry models. Not really anything I'm liking at the moment. So we had that external. We have the external draw up here, right where our London high up there. Our external buy side draw, and then we have external sell side draw down here at the lows we made earlier down there. So basically all we'd be looking for is a draw on liquidity on one side, but we can see today we are still dead in the middle, guys. This is the definition of a ranging day when we see a candle like this. So I'm not really expecting too much breakout. Not really expecting too much of a move. We can see both times we traded back into that 4 hour. We bounced off it. That's when we caught those longs. Right, once I saw us bounce off that 4 hour and we started to form pretty good structure is when I jumped into that long position that we caught all the way up to here. And it's just that seek and destroy, right? I waited for us to sweep liquidity on the sell side, bounce off of a higher time frame imbalance, and then got in the longs off the momentum and held them all the way up until we took buy side. And that ended up being a very good sell, right? Selling up here. Obviously, I could have held for a little bit longer, but I didn't want to hold. Just wanted to take my profit when it was there, and it was still like 196 ticks. Today is not a day that I would plan on holding any positions for a long time. Today's the type of day where I would really get in, get out, and just try to scalp with this seek and destroy price action. I still don't really like what I'm seeing right now. Just look at the 1 minute here. Just a lot of chop. This isn't the stuff that I really want to trade. So if we continue to see chop like this, we won't even put any risk. I won't even put any risk into the market. I won't even mess around with it. I mean, even this morning we didn't have the best price action, but then we found a good setup. And when we don't have the best price action in the morning, you probably aren't going to have the best price action in the afternoon either. Typically, would expect us not to have the best price action. So we'll see. We're not gonna. What I don't want to do is sit on here for like an hour and just watch chop the whole time. But we will look for some stuff going into silver bullet hour. But if we're gonna continue this choppy price action and not really see a lot of volume, then we'll just call it a day, and we won't even, like, to me it's not even, there's not even a point in putting risk into the market when we have price action like this. So we'll wait and see if we get anything better. Obviously we've seen this range today. Look at the 15-minute. We've ranged up and down, up and down, up and down. So the only thing I would be waiting for is a liquidity sweep on one side and try to catch the reversal back down to the other side. Not expecting to catch a breakout move or anything like that. Maybe we'll see if we're going to trade back into that 15-minute bearish breaker up top and grab this buy side liquidity here, and then maybe reverse right back down to grab the lows. Or vice versa, maybe we'll come down and grab sell side liquidity down at these lows and possibly try to reverse back to the upside. That's kind of the only thing I would look for. I wouldn't look for any trades, probably not inside of this range at all. I would wait for us to take out the buy side or the sell side of this dealing range here, and then try to catch that reversal. But as I was saying, if we're sitting in the middle of this range, I'm not going to look really to take any trades. Let's see. VIX has been pretty choppy today as well, obviously. So yeah, just coming into this with the expectation of not really expecting to take a trade here. But if we do have a liquidity sweep, then I will look for a good trade entry. But days like this, when we've ended green, we're already green, on our normal accounts or maybe on our main accounts. I know that I'm trading the prop firms during the session, but when I see this price action, I don't like to stick around forever and just watch it. I think it's kind of pointless. I think we could be doing better things. I think we could be studying, doing other things with our time instead of just watching the chop like this. Right? We could be studying a strategy. We could be back testing, things like that, instead of just watching price go like this for an hour. That's how I feel about it. I don't think this does us any service. The only thing good about being able to sit here and watch this and not take trades is building that discipline of staying out of the market in bad conditions. I think that's the only good thing that can come from sitting in front of the screen and watching this price action. But the more you sit here, the harder it becomes to keep that discipline, right? The harder it becomes to not get entries because you get that feeling of just wanting to get an entry and wanting to trade. And it's just, to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it whatsoever. So we'll go into Silver Bullet in about 7 minutes, about 6 minutes. We'll see if we get any liquidity sweep on the buy side or the sell side, and we'll look to reverse our position. That's the only thing I'm looking for. Okay, we got that buy side up here on yes. Sell side down here. Let's look at our weekly candle here. So yeah, still bullish biased overall after seeing our weekly bounce off that fair value gap. Again, we talked about this. I talked about this on Sunday. I said we're most likely going to come down and grab the weekly low, trade down into it a little bit, and then bounce. And I'm not just making that up. I did make that video for you guys, and I sent that video expecting this exact thing to happen, right? Trading down into a fair value gap, grabbing our weekly low, and then heading back up, which we have seen so far. And we've been able to capitalize on it for the most part. That daily fair value gap 4 hour would be that next buy side target on the external side, right up here. But I wouldn't expect that today. I would expect that maybe to happen tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow or Friday for us to make a push. A lot of our big NASDAQ companies, big tech companies have been up and down this week. A lot of up and down, a lot of indecisiveness in the market, at least the past 2 days. So we really want to see those companies showing us something clear. We want to see ES and NQ showing us something clear. So overall, still bullish bias, but these aren't the conditions I'm looking to trade right now. We got about 4 minutes, a little more than 4 minutes until Silver Bullet. As I say, I'm not going to give it that much. I'm not going to wait around for too long, guys. So we'll see if we see something anytime soon. Were most of you able to catch that long that I called out earlier? Were you guys busy or didn't get involved? The nice thing about that long is even when I called it out, sometimes it can be harder for you guys to catch it because maybe your entry is different. But it still came right back down to that entry and gave a few opportunities to get involved. which I love when that happens when I'm calling it out and not live, because then, you know, it still gives you guys that ability to get the same entry as me. Hey, there we go. Just cutting those losses back. I love the discipline. Nice. Chop, chop, chop over here. A lot of chop. So for anybody that just joined, I know we had a few people just join. At this point, I'm not expecting to take a trade until we sweep liquidity on one side and wait for a reversal to take it back down during these seek and destroy conditions. Looks like we're moving up for that buy side liquidity up here right now. Heading back into that 15-minute bearish breaker block. So we'll see if we're going to get that reversal right back down after taking out that buy side liquidity. Kind of the only trade I would be looking for. So we're starting to move now. So we might even get some SMT between ES and NQ, which will just be another confluence. Alright, so now we're sweeping that buy side. Now I want to see us bounce off of this breaker again and head back down for sell side. Fair value gap here on the 15-minute as well. So at this point I'm starting to look for shorts, but I'm not just going to try to guess the top right, but I am going to start looking to take shorts pretty soon. And that target would just be down here at the sell side liquidity. All the way down there. So we'll see if we get that reversal here. Getting a long wick to the upside after we haven't touched that 15-minute breaker yet, but we have swept liquidity, internal liquidity. Still sitting right around VWAP. We do have SMT at this high. ES failed to take the high. NQ has swept it, so we have that SMT divergence here. Let's see if it continues. So that's the SMT. Do I trade 50k PAs? I've had one 50k PA open for a while now. Okay, let's see if we're going to start getting that move back down. Yeah, I am. And I still will open prop firm accounts. But sizing, in terms of sizing for 50Ks, just depends how good you can manage that risk. For like, I typically like to keep it under 6 micros. I like to trade, 6 micros max on the 50Ks. You also have to keep very good discipline with 6 micros on a 50K. You only have $2,000 or $2,500 of drawdown. Here we go, guys. So we're starting the new hour. We're starting to get that reversal now, but it doesn't mean I'm just going to jump in. I wanted to wait and see if we form a fair value gap or something that we can get that entry off of. But this is a good, really solid setup for the shorts. Let's see if we want to tap into a fair value gap, create something here to get a better entry. We had that SMT at the highs. We swept buy side liquidity. We're in seek and destroy, so I would expect this to come back down to these lows now. Don't want to chase. I still want to get a really good entry. All right, and if I miss out on the move, I miss out. Oh well. So let's see if we want to trade into that 1 minute here. Silver bullet hour. Liquidity has been swept. Let's see if we want to tap into this 1 minute, get a short entry, and write it down. Hopefully we don't run away. Hopefully we do go retest that level. Not retest, but just test that level. Right, you can always get the entry down here. To me, that's still kind of chasing. But if you see that momentum, that breakout, you could try to get that entry and just keep a tight stop just to write it down. You don't always have to wait for that retest like I typically do. But there's a reason I do it. And to me, it just shows higher probability. Shows we're respecting our levels. We're getting better entries. Because when you chase a breakout, a lot of the time it's going to come back to stop you out pretty quick. I do like how this is setting up. I just want to see if we're going to go test that level. I have a lot of confluence here. A lot of confluence in these shorts right now. Just because the way we've been moving all day, guys, we've just been grabbing buy side, grabbing sell side, grabbing buy side, grabbing sell side. We have SMT. We have a clear level of liquidity at the lows. We traded back almost into that breaker. We saw a reaction off that level. All right, and don't want to get an entry down here just for us to go retest that fair value gap and then miss out and get stopped out. Personally, don't really want to do that. We really, I mean, we could drop from right here and we could never go test that level. Oh well, that means I just didn't get my entry model and I'm not going to get involved. So we'll see if we trade back into it. Like I was saying, this is the only trade setup I've been looking for. And it's starting to set up here pretty good. Got a 2 minute up here as well. We could look for an entry off the 2 minute. Looks like we don't want to go up and test it. ES is right at VWAP. Still struggling to break through. I do love that SMT divergence up there, though. Just think of all of the times you have thought about chasing price on a breakout and then it ends up completely stopping you out when you could have just waited for that setup to happen and then you missed out because of being too greedy or having too much FOMO. Just wait for your levels to play out. And if you miss out on a trade, then you miss out. Okay, so we're in that 2 minute now. We'd like to see if we're going to get a reaction off of that 2 minute. Alright, I'll test out the shorts here, guys. Oh, did it not get me in there? I don't think it bought me in there. But I still like those shorts. It didn't buy me in, so I'll have to wait for another entry. Okay, so if you did get that entry, I really like that. I really like that 2 minute reaction there. I'd really like that entry. So I was trying to get that entry right around here. I'm sure that's where most of your entries are if you are in. So let's see here. I'm gonna wait to get a re-entry to see if we retest that level again. But right, we just hit about 45 ticks. So what you could do, I wanted to have my stop just above VWAP around 45 ticks. So what you could do is take a 1-to-1 and try to just, take that TP, move that stop to break even if we're not moving down too aggressively. You could keep holding this one and try to hold it all the way down to the low to take that TP. Right, this is a tough level for us to break through right now, but we're showing a lot of downward momentum. We're just on this candle, we've just been kind of stalling a little bit. So yeah, it didn't get in when I wanted to there. So I'm going to wait for us to come back and maybe retest that 2 minute level again. That was a nice reaction off that 2 minute fair value gap though. Just didn't get that fall through. Did hit a 1-to-1. So let's see if we want to tap back into that level. 3 minute fair value gap 2. Okay, so I'll start looking for an entry here. I want to see us touch into that and then react again though. I want to see us react off this level one more time before I get an entry. Just because we didn't see a ton of follow through down there. So let's see if we get that reaction. So that 5 minute closed. Up close on the 5 minute. So I need to see a good reaction off this 1 minute for me to get an entry in the shorts here. You need to see us really react off this level. It's a good reaction there. Let's see us start to head down. Just want to see us start to form a little bit of a bearish candle here. I'm liking that. I'm going to test them out here. I'm just going half a lot right now. Half a lot. I'm going to test out the shorts. 45 tick stop again up at 19.979.75. There we go. Let's see if we get any kind of follow through here, if we can come back up and maybe give us a good level to add back into a full. But good entry so far. We just got to see if we can push through these lows again. Alright, so that could be a good first TP down there. At these lows. It's a 1-to-1. So you're not liking that wick back up. We're not seeing that follow through that I would want to see. Ultimate TP is down at these lows here, about 133 ticks. So we'll see here. I might add into a full. If we can start to drop, just get a little bit lower of an entry, look to hold down to those lows. Just right around break even right now. I want to pull back on that 15. We start to drop again, I'll add into a full. Just want to see this candle start to turn red a little bit. Just been kind of hovering right around break even here. I would rather wait for confirmation to add into a full than just add into a full on a bullish candle, just to have a little bit better of an entry. I don't care about that. I just want to get confirmation so that I can add into a full, not just rush into it, just to have a better entry. Because we are kind of chopping right now. I have my conviction. We had that SMT. Had a reaction off of our 2-minute fair value gap, our 1-minute fair value gap. Just not seeing any of that fall through. We had that liquidity sweep. Seek and destroy. All right, so all of my conviction in this trade is there. Just hasn't wanted to drop from here. So I haven't added into a full, still in half a lot. Remember, I'm never going to add into a losing position. See if we can start to get a little bit more momentum to the downside here. So far, not really doing that. Price is moving pretty slow. So obviously a lot of long wicks on the 1 hour as expected in such a ranging market. So let's see if we're going to try to go push through VWAP and stop me out if we're going to react off this 1 minute. Need to see us react off this 1 minute here. I'll keep my risk on for now. We might come and stop us out here. Again, I know my risk, just in half a lot. Still had the conviction for this trade, so I wasn't going to scale out. Okay, so it just got me there. It just got me there. So now we'll see. Again, we could still look for the shorts if we're going to still react off this level, but I am not liking what I'm seeing after that liquidity sweep. I wanted to see more follow through right down to the other side. Wanted to see a lot more follow through to the downside. So now I'll be patient again, wait for another setup. Wait for another setup here. See how our 5 minutes looking. We're still getting a bounce off VWAP. 15 minutes still closed bearish, had a little bit of pullback. I'd still like to see these shorts come in. Respecting that 1 minute and that 2 minute imbalance. I just don't love getting a re-entry here when our price action is looking this choppy still. This might just be price action to stay away from. The only thing that would make me go long, guys, is if we push through that 15-minute breaker or it came down and swept sell side. I would not be going long up here personally because of every time we've traded into this breaker, every time we've traded into that breaker, we've gotten a strong reaction back down. Later, abundant wealth. Take it easy. So it's like I'm tempted to get a re-entry in the shorts, but I just don't like this price action. Our imbalances are still holding us down. VWAP is still holding us down. But we're just moving very slow and not seeing really any follow through, any momentum on these positions. Which is not what I want to see when I'm in a trade. I really want to see aggressive movement. I want to see the market moving in my direction with full-bodied candles. See if we start to break out here. We might start to see a breakout from here. Five-minute candle's looking pretty good. 15-minute candle's looking pretty good. But the 1 minute still does not look too good. It happens, man. It happens. It's just how are you going to bounce back from that? How are you going to learn? How are you going to improve from that? You already know. You already know the mistakes you've made, right? You already know where you messed up. So now it's just how do I fix it, you know? How do you not do that the next time? It happens to the best of us. Alright, it's like FOMO turned into greed, turned into FOMO, turned into greed. Just a back and forth cycle. Because it seems like sometimes we just can't be happy with our profits. Because that's like you said, you lost 2K and then you made 1,500 back. Okay, so you're only down 500. And then you made another 800, so then you're up 3. But it just, right, it probably just didn't feel like enough. You probably felt like, oh, I should be making more than this. You started getting greedy, and then you gave it right back, right? And that's a normal thing. It's a normal thing to do. So it's all about just when you lose, you walk away. When you win, you walk away. Even if you didn't get back to break even, just be happy that you got some profits or you got some of your losses back. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that daily candle is just ridiculous, right? Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. So as I was saying, it looks like these shorts are going to step in like I predicted. As we predicted. But just seeing that price action, just not what I want to see. You know, we barely got stopped out. I obviously would have liked to have had my stop above this fair value gap at least. But getting an entry down here didn't really allow me to have that. And I wanted to get an entry lower because I wanted to wait for a solid reaction in this kind of price action. There we go. You're still holding on to it, Kia Trades. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So, you know, you can either be really aggressive and get that entry right when we tap into the fair value gap, keep your stop above, right? Or be a little more conservative, wait for a reaction, get a little bit worse of an entry. But, you know, that makes you have to have your stop loss a little bit lower, but you're also waiting for confirmation. So, yeah, with all this choppiness, guys, I'm not going to sit around. I'm not going to sit around and wait for this for too long. You know, I saw my one setup that I really liked. And we can see even when it looks like it's playing out, it just comes right back up and chops some more. So just don't like this price action too much. I would rather take a $70 loss on the day on this eval account than keep trying to force trades into this market and end up losing $200 just because I want to make that $70 back. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. Yeah, it's a loss, but in the grand scheme of things, $70 is not too bad. When we could have some way better price action tomorrow and catch, you know, $200, $300, $400, make it all back and be happy that we didn't lose $200 the day before. No bueno is right. Es verdad. So, yeah, I mean, like I was saying, guys, we could spend our time, when we see this price action continuing to chop, we could spend our time doing some other things that are a lot more valuable than just watching this market and wasting capital by taking dumb trades. We could be back testing our strategy. We could be going to the gym, doing other things, you know, just learning your strategy, watching educational videos, spending solid screen time instead of just sitting around in this chop forever, watching it, wasting, you know, you're pretty much wasting your time at that point just watching this. I think it's more valuable for us to be doing other things that could actually be, you know, helping us improve right now. So let's just honestly, unless you guys want me to stick around for a while, I think I'm just gonna call it because I don't like this price action. I don't think it's worth sitting around trying to trade. I don't want anybody to start feeling the, you know, that temptation of jumping in again, and continuing to try to take trades that aren't really there. Like I said, on this prop firm account or these prop firm accounts, I'm down, you know, $70. I will take that over being down, you know, a few hundred because we tried to take terrible trades. You know, we tried to force it. We had one good trade set up, really liked it, didn't follow through. So yeah, well, then let's focus on that. Maybe just go watch. I don't know if you want to watch my educational videos. You want to watch some other educational videos, or go get some sunlight. Get out there and get off the computer for a little while. That's how I feel about this price action right now. So yeah, Power of 3. I'm pretty sure I have a Power of 3 video up on my YouTube. I think it's an AMD Power of 3 video. If you want to go check that out, it should be under educational recordings. Play Pokemon Go. I never actually played that game. Definitely. Yeah, guys, I've got a lot of educational videos out there. I just recorded that 4th video of my course. All the 3 and 4 are all about market structure, how to read market structure, daily bias, liquidity, that kind of thing. I'll be working on my 5th video. Probably be working on that, probably the next few days. I just have to get exactly what I want to put on that video figured out, and then I will make that one. So I'll have the 5th video to that course. I'll probably end up making this course about 8 to 10 videos altogether. It's just a beginner course, and then I maybe might work on some. I'll start working on the mastermind, the master class, educational side of it, getting that ready for you guys, for anybody that's in that or wants to be in that. And then after that master class, I'll probably work on an intermediate to advanced course after that. So just trying to provide you guys with a lot of education. And I do, we still run those educational sessions twice a week. I think I still need to upload that one from yesterday, but I will upload that one. I always try to upload them to YouTube. So we've got the educational videos. So whenever you want to do that studying, you can watch my videos. You could go to ICT's actual YouTube, watch those videos. There's plenty of education out there. What I try to do with my videos is make it as simple as possible, because I know that ICT's videos can be very difficult to sit through, because it could be a 3-hour video and 2.5 hours of that video are him just ranting, and only 30 minutes are the good stuff. So what I try to do is find the good stuff, and that's what I've done is find the good stuff and break it down into a very simple way for people to understand. That's been my whole goal with my education. So that's what I try to do. So I do recommend, if checking those videos out, really having a good understanding of my strategy and of just ICT concepts in general. That way, when you're hopping onto trading and you hear me saying these different terms, you're really understanding the terms I'm talking about. You understand what I mean when I say, hey, I'm getting in off this bearish breaker. Hey, I'm getting in because of this Power of 3. These different terms. Hey, I'm getting in off this silver bullet fair value gap. And that way, once you hear me say that, you're like, boom, I see that too. I'm getting in. Right? Now you have a better understanding of why I'm getting in my trades, and then you can have the conviction yourself to get in those same trades. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. And yeah, I would love your guys' feedback too for my course, or anybody that has been watching it. I would love any positive, negative feedback. Whatever you have for me, let me know. I want to make that course as good as possible for you guys. So if there's anything you would recommend, you could shoot me a DM. Just let me know. So I want to make that really good. I want to get your guys' honest feedback to see what I could do better. All right, guys. Again, we're still chopping, so I'm going to call it here. Don't want to trade this price action, as I've been saying. We'll come back tomorrow. Let's have another great day tomorrow of trading. Again, I know this morning session was rough, but we came back. We made a comeback there. End of the day green. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you stay safe. Go get some sunshine. Touch some grass. Do some learning. Yes, what Kia Trade said. If you're going to try to trade this chop, I would not recommend personally. I wouldn't be trading live. Honestly, I don't think it's worth it. If you really need have that itch to trade, just go on a paper account. All right. Well, I will see you all tomorrow morning. Hope you have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. God bless. Until then, peace out.